Hello. The ability to compose and deliver effective and constructive criticism is the bedrock of human collaboration. If done right, it has the ability to spark creativity, to generate ideas that are far greater than the sum of their parts. If done right, it has the ability to build trust amongst colleagues and friends, that establishes psychological safety, that is the bedrock of productivity. It genuinely is a superpower. And if done wrong, it has the ability to stifle creativity, to erode trust. And it also has the ability to seriously upset people. And it's something we do quite often. If you're in a leadership position, it's likely that you do this several times every single day. So given the importance of this tool and the frequency in which we deploy it, I think it's astonishing that it's something we're not really taught how to do. It's something that we're left to our own devices to go and work out, to learn by mistakes. And of course, being humans, that means sometimes we get it spectacularly right, and sometimes we get it horribly wrong. Now, a few years ago, I found a set of rules for formulaically creating constructive criticism. And I believe they've helped me get this more often right than wrong. I'd love to share these with you so they might help you on your journey. And they're called Rappaport's rules. Now, why they're called rules, they're more like a 4-step process. So what I'd love to do is set the scene for you, and then I'll run you through the 4 steps. A colleague has come to you with a proposal. And this proposal they shared over a few minutes, and you'd love to now give them some thoughts on it that may help them strengthen it. In step 1 of Rappaport's rules, what you're going to do is re-express your colleagues' views in a way that's so concise and so eloquent that it's likely they're going to turn around to you and say, well, I wish I'd used those words when I described it in the first place. And of course, you may not have heard correctly, and this is a great opportunity for your colleague to correct you. What you're doing really is demonstrating active listening, and you're demonstrating that you've comprehensively understood their idea. Moving from step 1 to step 2, what you're now going to do is list all of the areas of agreement. Where do you agree with your colleague? What do you like or love about their idea? This shows that you're here as a friend, you're here as someone who respects their ideas, and you're recognizing that they've had some thoughts that are truly brilliant. Moving from step 2 to step 3, we go even further. And if there's something in your colleague's proposal that you've learnt something from, let them know. Let them know that they've taught you something. This is an incredible way to demonstrate humility, to show that you're here as another human being who also has ideas which have some good parts and some bad parts. It shows that you're not here as someone who thinks they know better. You're here as someone who's also on a learning journey, who wants to help them. Now, after steps 1 to 3, let's reflect. How is your colleague feeling at this point? They're probably feeling that you understand their idea, that you respect some of those parts of their idea. You've shown that you think they've had some brilliant ideas, and indeed they've taught you something. You're here with humility. And in total, I'd say that what you've built is a receptive audience. This is someone who likely is going to be happy to hear some ways in which you think they could strengthen that idea. And that's exactly what you go on to do in step 4. Now, depending on the character of the person you're talking to, it may be perfectly effective to deliver that criticism directly. Just give it to them and they'll be fine with that. However, in some circumstances, it may be beneficial to soften the criticism. And a great way to do this is to compose it as a face-saving question that allows your colleague to work it out for themselves. Let me give you an example. Let's pretend that your colleague's proposal is for a new product that your company might make. And they believe this is a new opportunity that no one's tackled yet. Now, you know that several of your competitors have already had an idea that's incredibly similar and have already taken it to market. So this isn't the greenfield idea that your colleague thinks they have had. And indeed, it may be completely useless. Now, you could tell them that straight up, but if you consider they've probably invested quite a lot of time and emotion in this idea, so you may have the effect of pushing them down the emotional staircase. Another way to deliver the news would be by saying to them something like, have you managed to do any competitive analysis for this idea yet? And if they haven't, you could steer them towards looking at company A, B, and C. And you could say that you think they might have done something a bit similar that maybe they could look at. Your colleague will then be able to go and work it out for themselves. It may be that you've misunderstood and actually their idea is novel, or it may be that by doing that analysis, your colleague will realize that they need to modify or abandon their idea, but they'll be able to do it at a pace that works for them. So those are Rappaport's rules. Steps 1 to 3 are all about building a receptive audience. And then, and only then, can you go and deliver your criticism. And this should be done in the most respectful way possible for the person that you're talking to. Now, I learned about these rules from a book called Intuition Pumps, written by Daniel Dennett. And if you found this idea interesting, I can strongly recommend the rest of the book, as it has dozens of ideas similar to Rappaport's rules. I hope this helps you on your journey. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.